So hello, I promised like a mid-month check-in and it's way past mid-month, but that's okay. It's just 2020. That's what I'm just gonna blame it on. 2020. Blamed everything on 2020. And I feel like my tripod's like, fuckered up or something. I don't know. This month has been going slowly. Haven't really been in the mood to do a lot. If you're not from California, you may have heard about these, but may not know exactly what they are, or may never have heard of them. But during September and October, in the last couple of years, thanks PG&E, that's our major utility company in Northern California, they do these things called public safety power shutoffs. Why do they do these things? Because instead of using money they allotted to maintain their lines and clear brush around their lines and all that crap like they're supposed to do, they decide to squirrel it away into their own pockets. And many wildfires in California, including the one that destroyed the town of Paradise, California a few years ago, were found to be their fault. Yes, drought, climate change, yes, those are factors, but you know, if they had maintained their power lines and everything a little bit better. And just so you know, when the Paradise fire happened, we had gotten a notice saying that there was a possibility due to high winds that they would turn the power off. Well, there were high winds and they never did it, and Paradise burned to the ground. So, and a lot of lives were lost. Way to go, PG&E. Hope the money was worth it. Anyway, they have filed bankruptcy and blah, 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 blah. So what do? They turn off power to their customers, so for safety reasons. I know. And we don't have a generator. So tomorrow evening, which is Sunday, I'm probably going to be losing power. We've been spared the last couple. We haven't had to do that. So there's that constant anxiety that these, you know, all of a sudden you'll just check. It's like, it's elevated, now it's on a watch, and yeah, so that's been fun. And the election stuff is going on, and the apocalypse is upon us. So, you know, that's just what's been going on. Anyway, so I've been reading more fiction, like I said last time, still doing that. But I did finally start. I forgot a book. Oh well, I'll just talk about it. Anyway, I did finally start this. I'm only to working with dark deities because kind of not into it, but I have nothing to do for the next 2 days because I'm not going to be on my phone or watching TV or doing any of those things. I have been watching a lot of horror films. Just watched The Birds again last night. Yay, love it. So the other thing I did is when I showed my decks that I was going to be working with, I said I was going to work with the Paulina Tarot this month, and I changed my mind. I decided to work with Tarot of the Magical Forest. Everyone's seen this deck. I have not. I'm too much of a chicken shit to actually trim my deck, so yeah. Oh, lovely, really? Why? As I was saying, right before I did this video, I'm thinking, you know, this deck and my other deck do not play well together. And I was like, huh. And so this deck threw the star at me, which, you know, nice card. Little hope, little bliss, you know. And so then the other deck I'm working with blah, is the Halloween Tarot. And because there's nothing that really goes with this one because it looks like cartoons. Which is why I love it. So what did it give me this morning? So the other one gave me the star. This one gave me the death card, and I'm thinking, really? Really? But the truth is those do work well together because you're talking transformation and change that is necessary pretty much on your own terms. And when I pulled card from this little guy, which is the Witch's Familiar Runic Oracle. I got the rune that, okay, because I suck at pronouncing everything, I got the one that looks like an R, which is about journey and being on the right path and everything. So actually all three of the cards kind of go together well, making the necessary changes to you know, be on that path, and everything is basically going well. So today they decide to play nice together. The other day, this one gave me the Three of Wands. This one gave me the Hermit. And I'm like, really? Really? So, but yeah, I still don't think they play well together. But, so I haven't really read anything on tarot. I haven't hit the Paul Case book. I'm sorry, I'm hunting down. Did start working on the Dark Goddess Craft book. Did finish the book on the Morrigan by Courtney Weber. For that book, I will say this. If you are interested in possibly working with the Morrigan, or you are just starting to work with the Morrigan, I highly recommend that book. Because not only does she, you know, she's been a devotee of the Morrigan for quite some time. She was before that a devotee of Bridget, and she has a book on Bridget as well. With the Morrigan, though, she goes into the different aspects of the Morrigan. She goes into rituals and ways to connect with the Morrigan and her sisters. So it's a good book. You know, I'm just not a Morrigan devotee. I don't know why I bought the book. Well, I do know why I bought the book, but I wasn't really super interested. But it was very informative. I think it's very good for someone who wants to maybe go that route and show devotion to that goddess. By all means, get that book. It will help you immensely. I can't say enough. So, that's that. What other things have I read? I do still have some more witchy stuff to talk about at the very end of all this, but you can just poke on the little thing and move the little bar. That's what I do. Like when you guys are all showing decks and stuff, and it's like, I'm not really interested in that deck. I just go, yeah, okay, another deck. So that's what I do. So, I said I would read Thinner. I did. And, you know, people do criticize Stephen King. This was written a long time ago, so the use of language and everything was more acceptable at that time. But also, it does make you dislike certain people. You're supposed to dislike some of the people in this book, and you do dislike them, and horrible things happen to them, and you're glad that it happens to them. So, but basically, once I was done reading this, I just started laughing, and I'm thinking, that is so fucked up. That's how the book ends. And so, I mean, I did enjoy it. It's a lot shorter than a lot of his books. And it did take a little bit of time to really get into, but it wasn't too bad. Okay, the next two books. So I read The Omen. See how thin that book is? Just watch the fucking movie. This was like pulling teeth. This took me 4 days to read. This took me 4 days to read. Watch the movie. Besides, every time I would read about the ambassador in here, I just heard Gregory Peck, so it didn't matter. The poor book was so boring. It got good in the last 40 pages, maybe, last 2 chapters. Okay, now this other one, I said I would read Frankenstein. I did. This is not the original 1818 version. That's more recently published. Okay, I get it. It's classic. The language is different. They write differently. And no, yes, this is Boris Karloff on the front. That movie is not like the book. I get it. I know that. I already knew that. And they have made books that are more accurate to the actual... they've made movies more accurate to the actual book itself. because the creature that was created by Victor Frankenstein is supposed to be intelligent, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I'm doing that a lot. I don't know why. I'm annoying. So anyway, so it's all written in first person, which I guess, I don't know. I don't care. They're really wordy and yeah. And as for the monster, because a lot of people think, oh, you start to feel sympathetic. No, I don't. You want to know why? It's like with my niece and nephew. I've told them before, not in this language, obviously, but I basically have told them, when you fuck up, suck it up, because you have to deal with it. You know, actions have consequences. I've tried to explain that to them. When you do something that's an action, what happens may have a consequence. It could be a good thing, or it could be a bad thing. And what's a bad thing? You get in trouble. Okay? I don't care if you were created by some crazy dude that wanted to play God. At some point, grow up, figured out you knew what you were doing was wrong. Okay. Just watch those movies. So by the time I was through with those two books, the thought of reading The Shining was just like, no, 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 no. I couldn't fathom taking on another Stephen King book. But I did get this book. And for all of the Wiccans and the witches out there, I would highly recommend this book. I possibly might recommend the entire series. Okay, these are books written by Jennifer David Hesse. They are a Wiccan Wheel mystery. The one I got was Samhain Secrets. She does talk about in here how at the very beginning, where is it? I know what Samhain is. She says how it's pronounced. Then it's a cross-quarter holiday. Yeah, cross-quarter holiday on the wheel year beginning at sundown on October 31st. Time for celebrating the final harvest, honoring the dead, and communing with spirits. So, basically what this is you have a lawyer who's a closeted Wiccan, who's a vegan, I remember that part, who solves mysteries. She's kind of like a Jessica Fletcher type. So, there's a bunch of little tabs. The reason for the tabs, I'll explain it in a second. And each of these is a mystery that happens around a Sabbath. Now, the author has written 6 books. She has not done one for Ostara or Lammas or Lunas. I don't know which one she's going to call it. Today, I'm so excited because I have mail coming. I'm getting Autumn Alibi, which takes place at Mabon. And I'm getting Yuletide Homicide, which obviously takes place at Yule. So I'm going to enjoy it. And the nice thing is, these are easy to read. I mean, it's a thick book. It's, what is it? 300 plus pages. The nice thing is, she gets you hooked right away. So you just keep wanting to read. And she, even though her bio doesn't say it, she has to be Wiccan or into witchcraft or have some kind of background, because the blue tabs are instances where, you know, she has some spell work, or she has like the calling of the quarters, invoking goddesses, you know. And then this little orange tab, that's just something I found very inspirational as a woman. Is, you know, it's not just as a woman, but it's directed more towards women than anything else. And so, yeah, that's why I marked that, because I'm like, I want to remember where that was. So I highly recommend this if you want something kind of witchy, that's a mystery. Then go for Jennifer David Hesse and her Wiccan Wheel mysteries. Yeah, I love the book. I read it. Okay, remember, 4 days, 3 days, because I enjoyed this book. Still didn't want to read The Shining. I'm probably going to start that here soon. So I got, I'm almost embarrassed. I did think I was not going to like it, but I got Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Now, I've seen the movie. The book is not like the movie at all. The movie's far more sensationalized than the book. it's hard to say this with a straight face. This is more historically accurate, minus the vampires. And some of the little taps are just things that were said during debates between like Lincoln and Stephen Douglas. If you know your American history about the Civil War, you'll kind of understand that. And some of the crap that Stephen Douglas said is like, this is shit that Trump is saying right now. It didn't fly back then, it ain't gonna fly now. What the fuck? Anyway, so this was kind of a really fun book. I thought it was going to be really slow. I was about to page 26. I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be pulling teeth. Got a few pages more into it, and then boom, that was it. So, did really enjoy this. So, hopefully, we'll be reading The Shining. And if not, or whatever, if I finish it, then I'm going to possibly start Nora Roberts' book, what is it? Dark Witch, which is part of a series, and so just some witchy fiction to finish the month of October. So that should be fun. But what I'm probably going to be doing, I'm just watching my little timer. Okay. So likely what I'm going to be doing, besides reading with no power and no fun shit to do, like just melt my brain playing cat games and stuff, I am going to be setting up for Samhain. I have to finish putting my altar together, and I am going to be, and what I might do is make sure this camera is fully charged, so maybe I can take you along with me while I make some new anointing oil and some incense, and just chat and do some crafting for everything. Because one of the things I'm going to do, now this chalice is for Lunasa, and you can see it. That's just fake flowers and stuff, and moss. And this is what I put an offering to the god in. So I'm going to do something similar. I have my own chalice that I drink out of. And so I got this at the Dollar Tree. Isn't it pretty? I actually like this. It's kind of nice, you know? I'm thinking about decorating this up, and I'll show you that, for an offering chalice to my ancestors and all that. So that's what I'm going to do, along with some other stuff, and I have to decorate the house and get ready. We're already ready for the kids because we know trick-or-treating likely not an option this year, and so maybe, because I still have to finish some stuff with my nephews, maybe I'll pull those out and bring the camera out, and so you can see what I did for the kids. But basically it's a goodie bucket for Halloween. Think Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown and Easter mixed together. There you go. That's what it is. So I'm gonna try and get this up today so I can say, yay, I did a check-in, and then get the camera all ready for the next few days, and maybe take you along with me while I get ready for Samhain. And that's about it. So hope everything's going well. Year's almost over. Election's almost here. Time for this year to frickin' end. And there you go. Much love and blessings to you. Bye.